OMG. Today is the day that Jacinta Allen resigned. I'm going to deviate. Sorry, I can't. Because I've got one other one I'd like to do first. And that is Maureen Farkery, or whatever, knowingly divisive, which is what sickens me about this lady, is clearly she oozes. I couldn't care what race she is, where she's from, whatnot, but you can see and listen to her for 10 minutes and you can see her knowingly being divisive, which then has what? Which then causes friction in the community. She knows exactly what she's doing, mate. Which causes friction, which then causes this us against them thing called division, which is what she wants, because that's what she profits from. That's what she gets her little earn from. Who cares about the kids fighting it out in the schoolyard? Who cares about the adverse effects as long as she gets an earn, you know? And you can see it a mile away. I couldn't care if she was Aussie, Asian, doesn't matter. The race is completely irrelevant. It's her nature of politics. You can see it a mile away. She tries to divide, to create the division, so she can go, yeah, vote for me because I'll be the person. It's disgusting. And she doesn't care about, for example, the Pakistani kid who's at high school now getting, or the Indian kid who's at high school now getting bullied because somebody's dad has, you know, blah, blah, blah. It creates division. Anyhow, so, and that's not justifying the division, it's just her divisive style of politics is very clearly what she knows exactly what she's doing. So we then have this where apparently Pauline Hanson said something like, go back to where you came from, something like that. And I believe, who knows, like can't speak for Pauline Hanson, but I personally wouldn't say it. I've never been a remigrator kind of that is not, I don't believe that. I believe we have to do something about mass migration, but Australia, blessedly, for now, is not, a quick trip over the Mediterranean, and so we're protected by our distance, to be honest. But anyway, let me continue. So here we have Maureen Farkery clinging to her divisive nature of politics and sooking loudly about being told, apparently, allegedly, go back where you came from. Let me just explain what the left-wing Victorian state government did to me. Without one shadow of a doubt, a lot of people know it, and you'd be a liar to say otherwise. 3AWs know it, the mainstream media knows it, all of Melbourne Drug Court knows it, APM Employment Services knows it, Melbourne Polytechnic knows it, Victoria Police knows it, organised criminal knows it. There was a big smear campaign against me, which involved basically me needing to apologise to a girl, a generational drug addicted street sex worker who I told to go and F herself because she had planted M-Spy style hacks in my phone after pretending like she was being nice to me, cracking on to me. So, like, just a disgusting piece of work through hacking my phone, like being the person who, can I use your phone? And then she installed spyware on my phone. So organised criminals and corrupt police alike had my phone, my emails, the lot. Well, that morphed into me being a big bad bigot and needed to apologise. So anyway, what that then also morphed into was a big left-wing anti-Michael, and you can hear like that many trolls who, when they want to disguise themselves, they'll all use the name Michael when they ring 3AW. That's all about. Anyway, I won't. So my point is, here's Maureen Farkery making all this noise from the left about apparently being told, and I don't agree with this, don't misconstrue that, being told to go back to where she came from. The entire left-wing government, women's groups, Melbourne Polytechnic teachers, you name it, all these lefties were doing what? Their campaign, WhatsApp groups, I call them, they would have had like the infatuated Karens. There would have been WhatsApp groups called the infatuated Karens, all orchestrated by a corrupt government, trying to get me eloquently to go back to where I came from, to F off eloquently, to fuck off out of the state of Victoria, go back to where I came from, because it all started. So why I even had informants trying to hack my phones and whatnot was because it all started because I was asked, I was government enemy number one when I was interviewed. I was dragged into, as a witness, a Victoria police investigation against a GEO-employed prison officer by the name of Devon Woodbourne. Sorry to repeat his name. I mean, no ill will to the guy, but I just want to, there's verification. It's completely verifiable. And that then led to all these lefties, which I look at it as a positive. I'm talking council workers at gyms, you name it, all spread it amongst themselves to try to get Michael, the big bad bigot who wouldn't apologise to this generational drug addicted street poly drug user who was being paid with the returned custody of her toddler, would not apologise to her because to get him to fuck off out of Victoria. And then here we have, to put it in context, here we now have a lefty, Maureen Farquhar, go, oh geez, that was horrible. Can you see like that person saying that to me? This is what I mean. I look at that 10 years as a blessing, mate, because it allowed me, without one shadow of a doubt, to see the true level of hypocrisy and hate that truly resides in these lefties, that truly resides in them. The level of spite and maggotness, like bitter crumb, like there is a lot of horrible people. I'm talking about these people were sex trafficking, drug addicted women here. Into rooming, that was the one that I went along with. So what happened in that situation? By this stage, I'm on the Melbourne drug court order, and they're still riling up their like fuck off, go back to where you came from campaign. And I'm still sticking my finger up, in effect, at 1984 style existence. So they're installing hidden cameras in my house, they're installing hidden cameras in smoke detectors, they're playing with CCTV, AI chatbot coming out of the CCTV at the Melbourne Magistrates Courts. And then covering it up with their media manipulating stories about their cameras being hacked and whatnot. I'm going through all this. I'm living in a genuine Orwellian existence, and I look at it as blessed. I look at it as I got to see these people literally sex trafficking. So what I could see when I was on the Melbourne drug court order, I could see them playing with my phone. By this stage, I knew exactly what they were doing, and I knew exactly what I was doing. So I kept like taunting, for lack of a better way to use it. I solved my heroin addiction years ago, fortunately, and I was over it. I was over chasing the dragon and hanging out. I just wanted to be honest, I just wanted to lose the government overreach. But anyhow, they wouldn't let go. No chance. They wanted me to fuck off. Okay, this person who's prepared to talk about the corruption in Victoria, I want him to fuck off back to where he came from. I want this Michael to fuck off back to where he came from, literally. And a lot of you will know it. And I soldiered on through, kept taunting them, kept doing little bits of just enough drugs to annoy them, basically. But they couldn't do anything about it. Anyway, in my phone app, in my hacked phone, so loosely it goes like this. I got told, gee, you're doing so well on this drug court order. would you like to go to the football? Yeah, okay, no problem. They sent me a link. Me, like, what am I going to do anyway? If they want in on my phone, they want in. You have to have your phone on you. But I didn't expect so, you know, whereas I clicked the link. It literally, like, tried to make a big song and dance. Like, I went, ting, like, you've been hacked. You know, we're watching you. I think they wanted me to know. Anyway, so me as a bit of a smart ass, I started taunting the lefties in the Melbourne Drug Court. Like, who the F is a government worker to be involved in anybody's sex life? It's actually, like, well documented. Even police, when it comes to surveillance, can't have cameras, can't have a hacked phone with full camera access in a bedroom. So I was taunting them a bit. I granted, I was being a bit of a smart ass. Anyway, so what I did is I went on a dating app to annoy these kind of lefties. And then I started seeing what they were doing. And it got creepy and disturbing. They were placing horrible ads, thinking they had my measure and whatnot. They were doing some disgusting things with what I now know are drug-addicted women. I was just saying, like, are you kidding? You government are orchestrating this and you don't see what's right. Anyway, so then I went to this person's place. Where we were using drugs together, which I did intentionally, because here you can see there's a bedload of drugs. So I'm on a Melbourne Drug Court order. I'm intentionally at this stage putting them in a position where they have to turn a blind eye to a whole heap worse, but they couldn't do anything about it, you see, because they wanted me to fuck off out of Victoria. And that is the true story. I would go to this girl, which apparently somehow a lot of people ended up knowing about. I'd go there pretending I had erectile dysfunction. Once I realised what was going on, I'd go to her house to use drugs, and I was putting the people, the handlers, in a position. She's got a commercial amount of trafficable quantities of meth and GHB in front of her. That's what she's drawing from there, GHB, juice. And this is all being monitored and set up by the corrupt Victorian state government, who wanted me, eloquently, to go back to where I came from. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is the truth. So when you hear these Maureen Farquis and these lefties talking like they're these big bad victims and what have you, don't buy it for a second. Please do not believe the BS, because when push comes to shove, when the shoe is on the other foot, when all of a sudden their corruption, their rot is exposed, they'll be the first front and centre telling that big bad white man bigot to fuck off back to where he came from. Get out of Victoria. And the thing is, there will be a lot of people who know that is without one doubt, one shadow of a doubt, 100% fact. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't necessarily think either of the Australian parties are great. I think, who knows, politics is a very, very funny bureaucracy, is a slow wheel. These left-wing governments, though, these modern left-wing governments are the most hypocritical, disgusting people you will ever come across. I'll say this, at least the Conservatives, at least the Trumps and the Elon Musks, they go like this. They say, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go in there. We're going to clean up. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to bring the Saudis in. We're all going to make money. There's going to be jobs. There's going to be roads. We're going to get the Indians involved. They're going to make money. We're going to then get the China. We'll get China. China makes some very special stuff, you know. They make some very nice cars at the moment. So we're going to get China involved, and we're all going to make money. What the lefties do is they bullshit to you. They manipulate you and lie to you and pretend that they're like this big, inclusive, loving group of people when they have more hate in their heart and hypocrisy than you would ever believe until you're exposed to it. And they all get around each other, and it becomes extremely toxic, ridiculously hypocritical, like just complete bunkum, absolute bunkum. I don't know what the future is going to be in Australia. None of us do. I don't know what the Jess Wilsons, I don't know what the federal Liberals are going to do. I don't know what Pauline Hansons are going to do. I know this without one doubt. You've been hoodwinked by the modern left-wing governments, and that is exactly the same in the UK, in LA, where they're rigging elections. The writing is well and truly on the wall. I don't know. Nobody knows what a Pauline Hanson would deliver. Nobody knows what the Liberals will deliver. But we know we've been lied and conned to, and our country is in a dead set mess from the left-wing governments. That much we know. Speak soon, guys.